Gloria S. Crump with the Queen of Real Estate at Coastal Leaders Realty Group. Thank you for joining this week's Tea Crumpets. Today we have Ricky Hinson with Sentinel Home Inspection Services. So thank you for joining us.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the history of the company.
Okay, so me and my wife decided to start the home inspection business about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I've been an inspector for 25 years. I inspected nuclear plants, refineries, and
Oh my gosh.
traveled 70-80% of the year. And we have an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and we have a surprise 5-year-old. And I got tired of this and everything. So
yeah.
she does transaction coordination, and she's like, you've inspected things, that are part of your life. Why not inspect homes? And
I was about to say, that sounds easy compared to inspecting nuclear plants.
it can be. Getting into nuclear plants
Well,
hard.
we'll get into some of the things that might be a little bit more surprising than what you could see in a nuclear plant.
For sure.
Well, that's really neat. And so, where are y'all from originally?
So I'm from Mobile. She graduated from Daphne High School.
Okay.
I've been married 23 years, and
Wow.
she told me to move to Baldwin County, so we've lived in Fairhope and Daphne for the last 23 years.
That's awesome.
So yep, love it. Every minute
Yeah,
of
so
it.
you're pretty much a local person,
Yes.
so you know this area very well.
Very well.
And what areas do you service?
So typically Mobile, Baldwin County, but also Escambia County, Washington County, Clark County, pretty much in that area. Just
Yeah.
I know there's sometimes there's not as many home inspectors up in the outside of the
Yeah.
coastal area, so
Yeah.
I try to help out up there as well.
That's awesome. Well, and plus those areas are growing because, as we know, Baldwin County is growing exponentially. So it's maybe so people start spreading out. So that's
Absolutely.
great that you can handle multiple areas. And plus, too, we have a lot of people that buy over here that own in the Mobile County area.
Right.
So that works out very well. What types of inspections do you offer? I know we talked about residential.
Yes.
So the homes and condos.
Right.
Great. So we just keeps you busy over here with the condos.
It does.
Yes.
I love doing condos. I did one the other day. It was a last minute, and there were people in there who happened to go while they were at dinner and stuff like that. So love doing condos, residential, any of the new, old, historic homes. I've done my fair share of all of them. I love all of them.
Yeah, and you said you do new construction as well.
Yes.
So that's great to know because I always tell people, even though it's new construction, we're in a buyer beware, so to speak, area. So inspections are crucial when purchasing a property. But I do think it's still important to do new construction.
Sure.
We had someone else on, and he said that he inspected a few new construction homes, and the builder had forgotten to put insulation in the attic, and they couldn't understand why it was so. Their house was so hot, and their air conditioner was up, and so he went in there and said, "Oh, you have no insulation in the attic."
They bought the house and moved in and didn't have insulation.
Did not. So that's why I think it's still important for you to do construction. So, with the inspections, do you offer certain things like thermal imaging?
Yes, so thermal imaging I do 100% of the time on every house, and it's standard with my costs. I don't charge
that's wonderful.
any
Yes.
extra. To be honest with you, I think it's nuts not to do it.
Oh, for sure. Because our area, the moisture in this
Yes.
area, and just, people sometimes don't forget to, seal
Right.
around the windows and water leaks and things like that, especially Mobile, which is one of the rainiest cities in the U.S.
Right, like
That's
number one or
Seattle.
number two or something like that.
Yes. And so, and you also do drone inspections.
Yeah, so if a roof is, if a roof's like that, sure, I'm gonna get on it. But if it gets to the point where it's like that, I'm gonna
Or if
fly
it's
a
3
drone.
stories tall, down here with the 2 stories on pilings
Condos.
and things of that nature.
And it's a DJI MAV4, so it has really good resolution pictures. So it takes good photographs
That's
and
awesome.
it gets good information.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're not afraid of getting crawl spaces?
No, so crawl spaces, I know a lot of guys have the rovers and stuff like that, but a rover's going to look at what the rover's looking at, and you're not going to see everything.
Exactly.
I don't mind getting underneath there. Sometimes I'm a little leery of some of the animals underneath, but I'll
Yes.
get under there, and a lot of times we see a lot of microbial growth, and you want to find that information, and a lot of times it's stuff that can be corrected fairly easy, but you want to find it. So that's one thing I'm trying to offer as well, is I'm becoming more and more educated on mold inspections.
Oh, I think that's great,
So-
especially for down here.
Yes, especially your older houses and your older residential, like Hotel Mobile and Daphne and Fairhope.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And plus, too, just even, newer homes, I mean, they can have a water leak and no one knows until they had the home inspection done.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what are some of the most common items that you find during home inspections?
Probably the number one thing is the silliest thing is trees on the roof. I mean, you got to think the wind blows down here, right? Storms, wind, everything else like that. If a tree, oak tree, whatever it is sitting on your roof, all it's doing this back and forth, and it's knocking all the
granules off.
Yeah. And when they build new houses, there's two things that I recommend everybody never ever do: put a crepe myrtle next to your house, or put a tree like a magnolia tree or an oak tree next to your house, because they grow so fast.
Oh yes.
And also the roots, can up the concrete foundation. But the main thing is just knocking the granules off. And a crepe myrtle is number one. Yeah. Crepe myrtles are beautiful. Yeah. Just put them 10 feet from your house.
10 feet. Well, that's good to know. And it's interesting because the oaks, so yes, they're gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just limbs falling down.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, just damage. I mean, and like you said, close to the house, with the concrete.
Right.
With the even slabs. I mean, I had my house. I actually tore down 20 trees, and after Hurricane Sally, and my driveway was already busted up from all the pines and the roots and stuff. So it can be very costly. I love pine trees, but it was a miracle I didn't have any damage to the roof. But the concrete, I mean, almost this is just as expensive replacing a driveway as it is a roof.
Tree removal is expensive.
So what are some of the shocking things you have found during home inspections?
Oh man, so usually it's always the crawl space. Every once in a while it's the attic. So I did a crawl space in Mobile County. I'm not going to name which town. And I was crawling underneath it, and I looked up and looked to the left, and I saw a snake. And I looked to the right, and I saw a snake, and I ended up seeing 6 snakes.
Oh gosh!
In the crawl space. Now they were rat snakes.
But still.
Yeah, I know. It was, it was one of those things where people didn't like it and stuff like that. But, I didn't see any roaches under that house. I didn't see any mice under that house. I didn't see frogs under that house.
Yeah, because there's rat snakes. Yeah.
And once they probably ate up the population, I'm sure they left too.
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
That. So, yeah, I mean, snakes are, everybody's like, the only good snake's a dead snake. I don't feel that way. I'm like, okay, cool. You stay there. As long as you stay over there, I'll stay over here. I'll keep doing my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did.
It's like, don't make eye contact.
No, exactly. I did one yesterday, and this scared me more than the snake. I did one yesterday, and I got in the attic, and there was a spider about that big.
In the attic?
In the attic. And there was no insulation in the house. And then
imagine that.
Yeah.
It's a brand new home?
No, it was a very, very old, which means they lived in it for a long time. And then I looked over in the corner, and I was like, there's a roach that big. And he was that wide. And he was that fat. And I'm like, they must be eating each other or something. But,
yes.
But I'm like walking the whole time with my flashlight and my headlight doing
Spiders are, I'm not near as afraid of snakes as I am spiders.
Right.
Spiders, I mean, I feel like it's my job on this earth to make them extinct. So, but I was going to tell a story about how I sold a house in Spanish Fort. It was an older home.
Right.
And there was a deck, and, we had it inspected and everything. Well, obviously, with the way the deck was, the crawl space was beyond small. But once they pulled the deck out, because they were going to put the concrete, they had found more used diapers. I don't know what that was about. It was the most bizarre situation. I mean, they talked about multiple loads of wheelbarrows and I guess it was diapers.
Did they not have garbage service?
I have no idea. Yeah, they did. I don't know if it was, and this is obviously after they bought the home because no one would have known, but it was the wildest thing when they called me and told me that. I was like, that it was buried. Maybe it was for a filling,
Well, 2 things: the smell, A, B, the moisture from the diapers could cause you microbial growth.
It very well could have, but they were buried. That's why they couldn't see them. But it was almost like, was this a filling? Did they think it was just going to decompose?
Right.
That was maybe not found during the inspection, but after the fact.
Yeah.
So that has to be my number one thing of hearing something that was hidden, so to speak. So, so do you have any tips, for homeowners that they can do to extend the life? Like we know about the HVAC.
Yeah.
Getting it serviced, getting it clean, changing the filter.
Right.
Do you recommend vinegar or Clorox?
So I use bleach at my house. I use Clorox. Yeah. So I'm sure everybody's got their own reasoning and stuff like that. Yeah. I use bleach. Probably don't do it as often as I should. I mean, I can probably go through my own house and find 7-10 things wrong right off the bat.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a landscaper. Everybody's home's lawn looks beautiful. Landscaper needs to mow the grass.
Dude, I live next to a landscaper. It looks like the 18th green on the Masters.
Oh, wow.
I love the guy, amazing, but I hate living next to him.
Just hire him.
I do. He actually cuts my grass. But it's like his grass.
It's a competition.
Yes.
That's too funny. And obviously we talked about siding. People just need to continue to keep the windows sealed, the correct sealant.
Of course.
A lot of times I've seen where people have used bathroom caulk outside, and it's like,
not gonna last very long.
No, not at all. It will not. So, what are some little tricks of the trade, things that people might not be thinking of that they need to do?
One thing I do, of course, now if you got a ranch style house, I know it's probably not as feasible to get into your attic, an older house, but I go into the attic during the rain and stuff like that, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna look anywhere I got a plumbing vent coming through, make sure there's no drips there. Go to the soffits, look, make sure there's no leaks, and even look at the ridge venting and stuff like that. I look for any type of leaks when it's raining, especially a real hard rain.
Oh, for sure, like we just had a couple of days ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the number one time to find something wrong with your roof is during the rain. So I do that probably. I probably should do it more. I do it about twice a year. I just go through and I look at everything, and I think that's a really good idea because the last thing you want to do is not know you have something, and the next thing you know, it costs you a lot of money. For sure.
And speaking of that, when we're looking at property and it's raining, I'll have clients, because let's just, especially houses, condos is not that as big of a deal, but with houses, they'll say, let's skip today, it's raining. So actually today is the best day to go look at property. You get to see how the drainage is on the lot, the lot. You also get to see if there's leaks happening.
Yep.
And it's one of the best things to do is look at houses during a rainstorm.
Right.
So, and we've actually, some of my clients have actually eliminated houses based on that. So, and it saved them a lot of trouble, and it didn't waste their time, and they didn't miss out on their dream home, so to speak.
And luckily we don't have basements around here, because then that would be even more elevated.
Oh, yes. I think I've only, out of 21 years of selling, I think 2 houses for sure. One in Lillian, one in Alberta, and they were beyond creepy.
Very uncommon.
And my clients did not buy those houses.
I understand why.
Yeah. And then we talked earlier, when someone were to buy a flip, somebody's, looking at property and they know it's a flip. What are some little tricks there when looking? So
when you do a flip, a lot of times, to entice someone, which understandable, you're going to fix the outside. You're going to go inside. You're going to put new appliances. You're going to make everything nice and pretty, which is good. The attic is hypercritical. A lot of times people don't put insulation in there, and you got that much insulation, and you're supposed to have basically this much insulation.
Yeah.
So checking to make sure that you've got, and they put a new roof on them too, but what's underneath the roof and what's above where you're standing is also very important.
Oh, it is. Well, especially when it comes time to receive your power bill.
Yes.
Especially in especially in the summertime.
Absolutely.
Yes. So.
And electrical is also important as far as having, an electrician. Of course, a home inspector is going to look at the generality of it and say, okay, this is this and this is that. But even an electrician will tell you, okay, this is suitable, or this I would repair.
Yeah.
this.
Well, one thing is too, depending on the year of the property, insurance agents will always ask about the electrical panel. They want to know if the electrical has been updated, and they also want to know about the plumbing. Yep. And so those are 2 things that people who are purchasing properties, that are older, were built prior to 1996 when there was possibly polybutylene. That was the year that they quit making homes have polybutylene. But yeah. So anyway, that being the case, that can either cause your insurance to skyrocket, or you might not be able to find insurance depending on the age of the home.
And then you have Durapex after that.
Exactly, the gray Pex.
Yes.
Yeah, and it even says Durapex, so that's how you can tell. Yeah, there's the blue and the red Pex, and there is gray. There is some gray Pex that's not the Durapex. Is that correct?
Well, polybutylene is the gray. The Durapex is the burnt orange.
Gotcha. So, but yeah, so those are good little tricks.
Yeah.
So, well, good deal. Well, we appreciate it. Yeah. And is there anything else that you could think of?
No. Like I said, I just appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
To have
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. And like I said, we started doing this a little over two years ago.
But you have experience. Yeah, I was going to say that you have the experience of 20 something years
Yes.
behind you. So, and that's good that you're able to work with your wife and be able to, watch your kids grow.
Right. And I love serving people. I mean, I love to, help people out and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a very expensive investment, as you know.
It is definitely, and I do not want people coming back to me unhappy. I always want a good phone call. So that's why, it's very crucial for people to get home inspections and make sure, that they know exactly what they're buying.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, well, good. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank
and we'll
you.
have his information at the end of the video. And thank you for watching.